Good morning, everyone. We are talking about ocean pollution. So what is the problem? According to WWF, 80% of marine pollution comes from land-based activities. And the problem is us letting the ocean get to this point. By us leaving trash around and not recycling, we are making the problem much worse. So I have a video to show you.
Well, what if you leave that running and then we make index cards of the things that they're saying, so that it looks like we're presenting the information. And then let me just say.
And marine parks are fighting to save our oceans, but it isn't enough. It's time for all of us to work together to improve the health of our planet's greatest resource and create a debris-free sea. Visit your accredited zoo or aquarium during our World Oceans Month to learn more.
Waste, putting the trash down the sewer, oil from the road getting down the sewer. Oil spill, hurting the sea animals, it hurts the birds because they become covered in oil. It takes a lot of time for the ocean to recover. The cleanup can be very expensive.
Air pollution is also another one of the problems. Chemicals enter the ocean from manufacturing plants, burning hazardous materials. Then small organisms on the bottoms of the oceans consume all of these small amounts of these hazardous chemicals, and then they're eaten by larger and larger animals passing it along up the food chain. Chemicals burned into the air can actually travel long distances and become part of fog and rain throughout many local communities. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are released into the air when burning fossil fuels like coal to produce electricity. And then we also have our coral reefs, which are one of the most biologically diverse and economically valuable ecosystems on Earth. Thousands of animals live within the reefs, like fish, sea turtles, and seahorses. Coral reefs also provide benefits for people, such as shoreline protection from storms and coastal erosion. Coral reefs provide food sources for many fish species, as well as nurseries for baby fish. Overfishing in coral reef habitats has led to a loss of important fish species. And then land-based pollution, such as coastal development and agricultural runoff, has hindered the coral reef's ability to regenerate at an equal pace. And an estimated 20% of the world's coral reefs are damaged beyond repair, and half of the reefs are half of the reefs left are in danger of collapsing.
Okay, dead zones / runoff from the land. So dead zones are areas in coastal marine areas where there's an absence of living fish and plants. So this is caused by an excess of nutrients being drained into water supplies from things like farms and urban development. So the most common nutrients that are sort of run off are nitrogen and phosphorus, and they're found in products like fertilizer. And so this sort of causes an excess in growth in phytoplankton in the water. And so when that happens, it causes an algal bloom. So it's basically just a lot of phytoplankton growth. But what happens is when all of that dies, the bacteria that decomposes the phytoplankton uses up all the oxygen in the water. And so this results in all of the fish or any animals or plants in the area dying or migrating from the area. And this is just a map of areas where there already are dead zones or there are areas of concern. So obviously this is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. And then so denitrification. So the reason that there's such a buildup of the nitrogen and phosphorus in the water is because the bacteria that normally in a more stable ecosystem could eliminate the nitrogen in the process of denitrification can't handle the amount of nitrogen that's in the water anymore. There's just so much that the bacteria get exploded and they can't as efficiently use up the nitrogen. One study actually found that these bacteria are only eliminating about 16% of nitrogen pollution. And then, so what's causing the runoff? So the worst culprit of agricultural runoff is probably corn. So this is a quote I found from a website. About 200 million bushels of corn are used to produce food products. About 400 million bushels go into producing corn sweeteners. 135 million bushels for beverages and alcohol. Just under 2 million bushels for feeding beef animals. 1.5 to feed chickens. And about 1 billion for producing pork. And corn is also used for fuel in the form of ethanol. So in 2013, about 40% went into producing ethanol. That's of all corn production. So that's definitely an issue.
So trash. Plastic bags, balloons, glass bottles, shoes, packaging material, and if it is not disposed correctly, almost everything we throw away can go into the ocean. And high concentrations of plastic material, particularly plastic bags, have been found blocking the breathing passages in the stomachs of many marine species, including whales, dolphins, seals, puffins, and turtles. The plastic 6 is the plastic rings for drinking bottles and can choke marine animals, and this garbage can also come back to the shore and pollute beaches as well.
What is the solution? Be mindful of the plants and fish in the ocean. Don't leave trash on the beach because it's going to end up in the ocean. Always cut the plastic on the 6 packs of soda cans.
So what can we do to prevent runoff? So one of the solutions would be to stop eating meat. So a lot of corn is actually used in feeding like animals for consumption. So that is one way to reduce runoff. If enough people do it, we won't have as much demand for the corn. And then this isn't really as much of a preventable issue because of the world's population. So a lot of people rely on corn products for eating, for sustenance. So it's sort of just a problem with population as well. It's very difficult to solve.
Recycle. Recycling helps to make less trash. A lot of trash ends up in the ocean from people being careless, and it's hurting the sea creatures. By recycling, you're helping to save plastic from ending up in our ocean. Chemicals. The chemicals you put down in your kitchen sink can end up in the ocean. They can be harmful if they are ingested by the sea animals.
So these are a picture of microbeads, and the little glasses in front are the microbeads that were removed from the products sitting behind them, and you can see that all the different products vary in how much microbeads they contain, but it just goes to show how much can be held in one bottle of product. What are microbeads? They are plastic microspheres that are widely used in cosmetics, such as exfoliating agents and in personal care products such as toothpaste, and they are also found in biomedical and health science research. Why are they harmful? Plastics used in microbeads readily absorb pollutants, and to a hungry aquatic organism such as a sea turtle or a fish, little pieces of plastic look pretty tasty. The smallest microbeads can even become snacks for plankton and travel all the way up their food chain. And this is just a picture that shows how the products go from your face products, such as face cleaner and toothpaste, all the way down to fish in the food chain. And they can end up with over 43,000 plastic particles inside a dead fish, which are also often killed from the microbeads. These are the top 10 items that are found in our ocean due to improper disposal. And you can see a lot of them are everyday items that we don't dispose of properly, such as cans, paper bags, plastic bags, caps of water bottles, straws, cups, plates, forks, and cigarettes, which are also found all over.
We have the solution. Better environment for the sea creatures, no more toxins, plastic, and waste in the ocean. The sea animals are not getting plastic stuck around their bodies.
This is a picture of common marine debris items, and these are common problems that we have because of improper disposal, such as newspapers, cotton towels, cigarettes, plastic bags, plastic bottles, and cans. An aluminum can last up to 200 years to properly break down all the way, and a glass bottle could go as far as a million depending on what it's made of.
And this is something I sort of found interesting, is that on Leah's last image it said that a plastic bottle would last for maybe 450 years. And in 27 hours, Americans drink enough bottled water to circle the earth in empty bottles. So, it's crazy.
These are some simple ways to fix the problems that are ongoing. We can all contribute by not littering, making sure our trash ends up in a proper disposal area, bringing our older unused clothing to donation bins rather than the trash, which might eventually end up in marine debris. Bringing your plastic bags to recycle bins in your local grocery stores, and making sure your caps to plastic bottles end up in the trash, because those cannot be recycled as many people commonly think. You should also be aware of your carbon footprint, and you should limit your use of pesticides, use reusable bags, participate in local town cleanups or beach cleanups, and donate to organizations protecting the ocean. And this is a recycling decoder. A lot of times you'll see numbers and symbols on bottles and bags or utensils, and the numbers stand for different things and what recycle programs they can go through. So this is kind of an informatory slide to check out what you're gonna recycle and how it can be disposed.
Sources?
Never.
I
Did we
know,
make it to
the
the
video.
solution?
The video didn't.
I don't think
Oh, we got
watched
one
the
minute.
first video. Oh yeah, we did do that.
Oh, we
The
did.
video didn't play.
The first video didn't, right? We watched the
Click
second
on
one.
the second one.
Wait, which one did we watch? I think we watched.
Majority of my childhood was always within the water. There's nothing worse than being out there surrounded by plastic.
I was a product designer in another life, and it was my job to make plastic products. And after a while I realised that we didn't need the stuff that I was making, and so I stopped. I met Andrew and he told me about this project, and it just clicked. For me, the project was amazing. We could have a better time at the beach because we're not swimming in plastic and pollution anymore. We'd even eat better because the fish are healthier. Marinas, ports and yacht clubs is the perfect place for the sea bin. There's no massive ocean storms. It's a controlled environment. It catches everything floating in the water: plastic bottles, paper, oil, fuel and detergent. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Another good thing with the location of the sea bin is that people can see what we're catching, what they're swimming in. been a big change in our life. We quit our jobs, we've taken all our money, and we're putting our heart and souls into making this happen. One of our goals is to make the sea bin from our own plastics to create another sea bin to capture more. It's a domino effect. The second goal is to create a world where we don't need the sea bins. Imagine that, we have a pollution-free ocean for our future generations.